BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing? We're here with Talk Tech Weekly. We're here to come on now. Welcome to Biz Chicks TV. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina, and we are the Biz Chicks. We're going to be talking tech today, and we'll be joined by our colleagues from around the country. And we always like to get started with this week in tech. Fran, are you ready?
hmm
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about this week in tech history.
Mhm.
I'm looking for something because I think we put it up here. Hold on just a second. All right, and well, it may not be in our lineup anymore. Normally I have
Okay.
the little things on there, but whatever. It's this week in tech history. And I'm going to start with September 1st, 1977. Pioneer 11 flies by Saturn, and
Mm.
NASA's Pioneer 11 spacecraft, launched 4 years earlier, became the first human-made object to reach Saturn. It gives us the first close-up of images of the planet, its rings and moons, paving the way for Voyager's legendary missions. And that was Pioneer 11. September
Mm.
2nd, 1993, W3 catalog launches created by Oscar, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, at the University of Geneva. W3 catalog is considered the first web search engine. It didn't crawl the web like modern engines, but mirrored existing manually curated lists of websites, giving people a single place to browse the early web's scattered directories. Um,
Wow.
Let me make a comment here. That's AI back in the day, 1993. We people are thinking AI just came on the scene just now. This is 1993, and it's crawling the web, trying to. It didn't. This one didn't crawl the web. Google crawled the web to bring us all the
Information into one place, like a directory or an encyclopedia of information that we
correct.
could go to.
Right. September 3rd, 1995, eBay, also known as Auction Web, is founded by Pierre Omidyar.
Mhm.
He launched this from his home in San Jose as a side project. Its first item sold was a broken laser pointer, showing people would pay for just about anything online.
Mm, mm, mm.
This small
Mhm.
experiment grew into eBay, a company that reshaped online commerce. That was September 1995. September 3rd, 1976, Viking 2 lands on Mars. NASA's Viking 2 spacecraft touchdown on Utopia Planitia, becoming the second spacecraft to successfully land on Mars. It captured
Mm.
detailed images and ran biology experiments showing searching for life, data that shaped decades of planetary science. September 4th, 1998, Google files incorporation papers. Larry Page and Sergey Brin formally incorporate Google in Menlo Park. The company began in a friend's garage, focused on organizing the growing web with its page rank algorithm. That moment turned a grad school project into what became one of the world's most influential companies. So, back again, it is Google was taking information from the different uh, websites, kind of
Mhm.
like you learn like we what we use Google for today. You search and it goes and brings all of you say I want to talk about cars, and it'll bring you stuff about cars, but it is more detailed than that now. But before, what was that, 1998?
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time ago. It was searching and bringing data back, going out to the web and bringing it back. Wow. September 5th, 1980, IBM Stretch computer supercomputer is decommissioned. The IBM 7030 Stretch was one of the first transition supercomputers built in the late 1950s. By the time the last one was shut down at Brigham Young University, computing had leapt forward, but Stretch left a mark, okay, influencing future supercomputer design.
You think they took that metaphor a little far, but go ahead.
Yeah. September 5th, 1978, first GPS satellite launched. The U.S. Air Force launched Navstar 1, the world's first GPS satellite from Vandenberg Air Force Base. It was part of the system that would eventually evolve into the global positioning system, now guiding everything from aircraft to smartphones to Uber rides. And there is a Black lady who is, I got to remember her name. She was the one, and we did this in tech history. She was the one who initiated some of her tech, is the reason why they had GPS.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. She's all about the GPS.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're building on her work.
Yes. Yes. We did that during Black History Month. I remember finding it. Yeah.
That was like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
that's ingenious. Now, here's some tech making history this week. IFA 2025 in Berlin, Europe's biggest consumer tech show, opened its doors with a strong tilt toward artificial intelligence. Beyond flashy gadgets, the story is invisible AI, smarter homes, smarter appliances, smarter shopping platforms. JD.com's push into Europe through Meta Market Saturn shows how global retail is being rewired by tech partnerships. Okay, so AI is, because it's already in stuff right now. It's just going to be better.
It's so embedded, we don't even notice it anymore.
Right, and that's what it says. It says invisible AI. I was like, well, yeah, because everything is running on something.
It's interconnected. I think about my Ring doorbell that's attached to my fence. I don't even think about it anymore. It's just, you know what I mean? It's there. There's just so many things we take for granted. I expect my phone to answer when I talk to it. I expect it to respond or speak to me, whatever it's programmed to do. Mm-hmm. And now we're so relaxed with it. Do you remember when e-commerce began and only 5% of the population was using it? And now what?
Everybody is
80-90%.
People are swiping cards. People are.
I got a fundraiser from my grandson's band group. Well, I could just give online. I didn't swipe a card, whatever. It let me Apple Pay.
And that's what I did. We say at BizChicks all the time, make it easy for people to pay you.
Exactly.
Okay. Apple all-dropping event coming September 9th. Apple's teasing new iPhones, rumored iPhone 17 lineup, including a slimmer Air model and a titanium Pro design. Plus Apple Watch updates and AirPod tweaks. The bigger play is Apple Intelligence. Apple's ecosystem-wide AI suite meant to weave machine intelligence into the everyday Apple experience. And what that means is that it does some of it. Like if I'm driving by Starbucks, I'll get a notification. Hey, did you want to put in an order?
What?
It'll put in,
How often does that happen on your phone? Because there's a Starbucks on every corner. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, if I've gone in there, on your phone, it recognizes a pattern. because your maps know if you did you drive into Starbucks. If it knows that you drive to Starbucks every morning because it's on your phone. Your phone, yes, it's tracking, but not in a bad way. It is so that it can tell the car is moving.
And it learns your habits
It
from
learns
your
your
driving
habits.
patterns.
And it learns your habits from doing certain things on the phone. Like if you pick up your phone every morning and go to YouTube, the first thing that's going to pop up is, do you want, a suggestion for you to go to YouTube? Well, it's
Gotcha.
going to get even better with the new, when the new Apple Intelligence is released. It'll know you more. It'll get to know you and respond to how you do things.
Okay, there you go. Just a moment. Dr. Tachi needs a link.
Okay. Then Broadcom's surge. The chip maker stunned Wall Street with earnings fueled by whispers of a huge AI chip order from OpenAI. Investors responded fast. Broadcom's market cap jumped. Semiconductor indices followed, and the news widened with a spotlight on AI's supply chain, who can deliver power at scale. So because AI is interwoven into everything, OpenAI, which is the parent company for ChatGPT, is going to need to build the infrastructure, and they're going to need more chips. You notice they don't make the chips, they just do the tech. But they need the chips to build what they're building. So they went to Broadcom instead of NVIDIA, which is interesting. Okay. Yes. I'm skipping over one story. EdTech steps up. Schools are testing VR headsets for immersive lessons, AI tutoring assistance for personalized learning, and digital literacy curriculums to help students navigate a tech-saturated world. Google's Notebook LM video overviews rolled out as a new learning aid. It signals a quiet but steady shift, AI settling into classrooms as a standard tool, not just an experiment. Okay, I have something to say.
Okay.
Being an AI consultant, I don't understand why it could not be in a classroom. It is the same. Okay, so when we remember when they told you to write a paper, say on eagles, right? And how eagles developed and do certain things. When they told you to write that paper, what did we do?
We went to the encyclopedia. We went to the library. We looked up stuff.
Wait, but we went to where there was a collection of information about that subject.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is a Bible, right? And it is a collection of information. It going to the encyclopedia meant, one, that your parents had enough money to buy a set of encyclopedia to have it on the shelf. That was one. Or two, you went to the library where there was encyclopedias available to everybody. But you went there. You looked up, you went to E, remember the Dewey Decimal System? That was the most convoluted. I was like, what? And they taught this.
Dr. Tachi, we sent it over on Facebook. Okay.
Messenger.
I'm sorry. Messenger.
Okay. So we go into class. We went into class. Or we went to the library to pull this out. So we went over to E for Eagle. And then you pulled the book down for E for Eagle. You opened the book, flipped through some pages, and you went to find out about some dude or dudette went and talked about eagles, and because
Yes.
they what did they do? They observed the eagles in the wild, and they observed that the eagles break their beak on a rock when they're trying to get to the next stage and grow, blah blah blah, right?
Hmm.
So all of that, we're everybody's cool with that study process in school. How long did it take you for the
Yes.
report?
Oh my gosh.
Weeks.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then
Hmm.
they told you write the report, and the teacher said study it and put it in your own words and tell us what, the lifestyle of an eagle is in your own words. So people are all up in arms right now because AI is it is the same thing. You went to Google now, searched on eagles, probably came up in Wikipedia or came up in somewhere. Somebody did a study on eagles, and you did your research. You wrote your paper on eagles and you turned it in. AI comes along and you just say, could you tell me more about the eagles? Tell me about the eagles. And AI was sure. The eagle, da 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 da. Hey TJ. So um so people are getting all enamored and out of place because AI is coming into the schools now. And I'm like, does it matter?
Now, what happened with this coming into schools?
Because okay, AI is coming into schools. I'm going to read this little story that I got here. Dr. Tachi, you ready for me to bring you? Okay, there you are.
Hmm.
Okay, so in my little report here, EdTech steps up. Schools are testing VR headsets for immersive lessons, AI tutoring assistance for personalized learning, digital literacy curriculums to help students navigate a tech saturated world. And Google's Notebook LM overviews rolled out as a new learning aid. And this is signaling a quiet but steady shift of AI settling into classrooms as a standard tool and not just an experiment. And I was saying when I did research, like if I'm looking up something on the eagle, I went to the encyclopedia if my family was so blessed to be able to have encyclopedias on the wall, or
Right.
I went to the public library to look up whatever I'm looking up. As
Right.
we moved on, you could go to Google and look up the information. Now AI is sitting right on your phone. You can ask Charles, um, uh, what's your person, TJ?
I call
Jessica. You can
Chat.
ask Charles.
Call it chat, chatty, all kind of names.
Right. So Jessica, um, Charles, whoever your person is, you can ask them. So tell me about the lifestyle of the eagle. And you can write the report in your own words. But people are like, rah, rah, no, we can't have AI in school.
Words.
In your own words. But that's what the teacher told us back in the day. You went to the library and you wrote what you learned about the eagle in your own words.
You read, you looked in the encyclopedia, you went to the library and looked up the reference books, and you had all these books at the table, and you were furiously writing on your pen and your pad, and you were putting it together in your mind. So now we have AI, so you don't go to the library, you don't have to have encyclopedia. Everything's at your fingertips on this phone, and you're still supposed to absorb it and put it in your own words.
And you're muted, Terry.
I'm sorry, which is what we do. We were taught to go there and to make bullet points, remember?
Research.
Under the subject, and then take those bullet points and put them into paragraphs.
Research, outline, right.
Outlining, you learn. Roman
And
numeral
so,
A1, A whatever.
so when people are um, all up in arms about AI being in classroom, I'm like, it is, instead of me trucking down to the library, I
Well,
can sit
here's the
right
thing,
here.
Fran.
Huh?
Remember during COVID, my thing was, why are we not having one master teacher that is excellent in each subject? Because everybody was online anyway, and that the teacher is in there as a facilitator for her classroom. It was, to me, it was just such an missed opportunity to tap into um, master teachers.
Because they're trying to shoehorn the old system into the new. That's
And
it.
Dr. Tachi has her hand up.
Yes, good. Yes, Dr. Tachi.
You know, I always have to go into the humanistic side of things.
Mhm.
So we have to ask, is our education system made for efficiency and learning, or is it made to train the next generation of machine workers?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't
Yes,
care.
it was
There
designed
are
to do.
people with it. It was designed. It was not designed to help.
It was designed to create more employees. That's true.
Exactly. And although there are people within that system that want to see a change, but you see the difficult time they're having because the system was not designed for that. So yes, it wasn't a phenomenal, that would have been a phenomenal thing and provided a phenomenal opportunity for that, for master teachers. But that's not what they wanted. Because if they did, they would have done it. They don't want it.
Mhm.
Want that.
Sorry to burst your bubble.
No, it won't work.
No, I mean,
So
I just thought it was a real missed opportunity. It could have
Yeah.
just been astounding, and students would have been engaged. It would,
so
you know what I mean?
so I'm gonna. I hope this don't take us down too far of a rabbit trail. What happens when the gathered information, and if the teachers don't harness this tool of AI themselves, somebody's going to harness the thing and have the teacher do exactly what you're talking about without the other teacher. Because I was watching Star Trek, and so the doctor on Voyager, he was completely a hologram teaching. All he was doing was referencing what was programmed into him, right? But he was doing the work, doing the surgeries, doing the stuff, but he was programmed. And the engineers had to just keep tweaking his program. This is going to be very interesting if the teachers don't keep up with it and stop poo-pooing the idea and start using the idea. This is where we talked about you can make yourself obsolete because the machine can't technically replace you unless you are so closed-minded that.
I'm so glad that you brought up Star Trek, because popular culture and television has been giving us clues, and science fiction writings has been giving us clues of these things for years. But I think people just see it as, oh, that's fiction. But the thing is, if the human imagination can dream it, it can become so. So I don't understand.
Can see it, you can have it.
Yeah, you can have it. Exactly. It's doable. We see that we keep talking in jest in general about how, remember the flip phones were first on Star Trek. This first but it happened because it was dreamable, and all you need is the tools to create it. So when we look at these things, and again, artificial intelligence is something that has been talked about since was brought up in the 60s, right? And even before that was probably termed something different. So it's there. So if the human ingenuity is there to dream it up, and somebody takes the clue and makes it, it can become possible. But because we think with a today mindset and not a tomorrow mindset, that's part of the problem.
Yes. I agree. And the countries that do this, when they think about the future, I mean, there's a few, I won't name them. There's a big one that they think long term. They don't think today. They think 50 years.
They think centuries.
Yes, they think in centuries. They're going to be ahead. And then we're going to sit back and go, well, what happened? Well, you're still concerned about the old way of doing things. Well, in my day, we did this, and that was your day. Today is a new day. So, and you're right. The teachers have to use the tool, and they're not. There's all this talk about, oh, AI. No, learn the tool, and then make the system where, like Carolina says, where you're teaching the master.
Yeah.
Things are being done efficiently.
Here's the thing. Every kid has a phone. You're making that kid put the phone in a pouch. Why not turn that phone into a tool?
So learning tool.
And every kid that doesn't have a phone can go over to the wall and use the 3 or 4 that you needed. So everybody had a phone.
And they put the cap on them and sit in the corner, turn your back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, my sister, she's an educator, and she was called upon to substitute in a 5th grade class because the other educators, they were like, they didn't want to deal. It was always a substitute in that 5th grade class because of the age range and whatever. So she engaged the students in a way where it was the class was high Latino population, and the soccer was on. Premier Soccer was on, so she used that to her advantage.
Yeah,
Mexico was playing against something. She got permission from her principal or whoever or something, and said, "Can we run the soccer game in class?" So the kids were participating. So they watched the
over
soccer
here.
game.
Wow, go ahead, Fran.
So the kids participated by watching the soccer game. She had them now identify the different countries that were playing in this Premier League or whatever. And so they had to write the paper. They drew the flag. They did the study on the other teams and whatever. And it was a full on exercise that the kids enjoy doing and writing their papers and all of that. They posted the papers on the wall in the hallway for other people to come and take a look at. You know, other teachers got mad. Well, they're making too much noise. I was like, what?
What is it about? They can't be any fun in the classroom. Like they can't.
I don't know.
That's
because as an educator, I taught 8th grade in Newark, New Jersey. Okay. And people were just astounded that they could walk down the hall and there was no noise coming out of my class. I was the only one on the floor, I had the door open. And we were in there singing history. We would have the kids make up their own tunes because it's easier to remember something when repetition is taking place.
That's creatively using their mind.
And you said Newark? They need that
Newark.
type of thing.
Recite.
You know,
that's not fun.
No. And so they got to work in a group. If the kid in the group couldn't read, he could still sing and perform. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it cut across a lot of what they used to call it, across the curriculum where you had different things, you had art and whatever. It worked. I'm just saying, come on, people. Use what you have in your
These
hand.
are the same people that don't want an AI infiltrated into the classroom. I'm like, sorry, sweetie, it's already happening.
Use the tool creatively. Young children are very expressive and have open imaginations, but that's all shut down because they go to class and I know you gotta learn facts, but really now you have a phone, you don't really have to learn that many facts and stuff them in your brain. And kids are like, well, I don't want to stuff all that in my brain. I want to think of something creatively that maybe they're good with their hands, or maybe they're good at creative writing, or maybe they're good at math. Like the example you said with the game. There's the math teacher could have used that for math and statistics.
Yep.
But they don't do that.
The geometry teacher could talk about angles, getting it in there.
Teaching is hard. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We and a lot of this, they're not allowed to be creative themselves.
Yeah, and they come fired up. That
They have a written
higher up
curriculum
they
that they
go,
got to
the
cover.
less.
I'm not blaming teachers. I'm just saying they have to work what they had, and so the whole system needs to be.
And it also
Overhauled.
goes to, you have to look at who are you electing to your boards, to you, right, to the school boards,
That's it.
because school boards are complete trash. I hate to say it,
Okay,
but
and
across the
there's
board,
one on
they're
every
complete trash.
corner.
Every corner. And my thing is, you don't really necessarily have to have any experience in education to be elected to the school board, because it's
Isn't that
election day.
crazy?
It's
that
crazy. It's whoever campaigns the best gets elected. And so then you have all these cockamamie ways and means and rules that
Ideas, what you can't say.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, how do you know? Have you ever been in, like, I would not be a good candidate for the school board. I've never worked in K through 12. I only know college. So I'm not a good candidate. I don't even have a child in this system. Thank goodness. but so I would not be a good candidate for that. So I think with that, we also have to look as a society, who are we in this country, who are we elected to these school boards? Because let me speak for this school board here. I'm not going to say that there's nobody who wants to see things go well, but there are so many people, especially in a place like this, and I bring up Florida because there are not a whole lot of professions that people do here. Florida is not a state that necessarily produces, right? There's some farming, of course. You've got banking. You've got tourism. Tourism is the big thing because of South Florida, right? So you don't have a whole lot of highfalutin industries here that lead to a very robust state and a very diverse state in terms of thought. Not at all. And I hate to say that, but that's what happens, right? And so what happens here is people want clout by any means necessary. Okay, so you're not going to have engineers. You're not going to have a whole bunch of these. Of course, you've got medical too. You don't have a whole bunch of these things. Oh, but I can run for the school board. And they love to show off. Oh, yeah, I'm on such and such. I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And I know where this comes from, but I don't excuse it because it affects other people. So because we don't have this is not like I came here from DC, right? There are lots of different professions and things in DC. People like me are a dime a dozen, so it's like whatever. But they make a big deal of it when you come here because that is not the case here. And so you have people that are looking for clout and recognition wherever. Oh, I'm going to run for the school board. People love to run for things here, don't know a damn thing, but they love to run for things. So if I can't do it in some of the political arenas, traditional political arenas, I will do it with the school board. And now look at the schools. So we have to look at who we elect to our school boards as an answer for why things are the way they are.
So this is tech history and AI is showing up everywhere in our consumer gadgets, retail, in chips, politics, classrooms. And it's saying that history in the making looks like one big breakthrough and looking less like one big breakthrough and more like AI dripping into every corner of daily life.
Every corner.
Which is one big breakthrough. We have some comments from Fred. Can we put those up?
I for whatever reason, Terry, I don't have access to them, so go for it.
Okay, he's talking about here. He says, "Show the segment, the digital rabbit hole."
I love that. Yeah, I absolutely love that.
We need to write that one down because we can.
The digital rabbit hole.
Okay, he also says,
yeah, we do.
He says he needs. Oh, that was something else. Okay, he says, "Bursting Bubbles" with Dr. Tachi is the name for a new show. And then he's got one. He says, "I'm looking to start a church."
AI Baptist AME.
Okay.
I think it already exists.
So you can send your tithe over there. And then he's saying, okay, so the pastor will be named Chip Jakes and look like Richard. Okay. So that's just some, and then he's talking about when we got to talking about education. He says that the father of AI will be named Max Headroom.
That's hilarious.
All up in our head. So now let's continue down this digital rabbit hole. Okay.
Okay, Terry, you're up. I just did my tech history. I'll just.
I was just reporting. I feel you, Fred. Okay. I want to say this, that I have been using NVIDIA AI, and recently I used it to make a couple of stories for my grandchildren, because I want them to know, some quick things about the Bible, and also, just stories. So I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. Screen and stand. And I want to go here to NVIDIA, share the screen. I want to run this quick video for you that I was able to create. You see the animation is all there. And let me know if you can hear it.
Dark storm clouds gather on the horizon as righteous Noah builds his massive ark, following God's command. The people mock him, laughing at the old man building a boat on dry land. But Noah continues his work, trusting in the Lord's warning. Then they come, the animals, 2 by 2, as God commanded. Lions and lambs, eagles and doves, creatures great and small march toward the ark in an impossible procession. Suddenly, the heavens break open. Rain pours down like never before, and the waters rise from the deep. The great flood has begun. For 40 days and nights, the ark rides the waves above a drowned world, carrying the future of all life within its walls. But God remembers his mercy. The waters recede, and a beautiful rainbow appears in the sky, God's covenant of hope and promise to never again destroy the earth by flood. In judgment, there is always mercy.
That's pretty cool.
I really
And it
enjoyed
was
it.
created with AI.
AI.
This is
Yes.
How long would Dr. Tachi? How long would you have had to create that piece? You're muted.
Oh, you're muted. Dr. Tachi, you're
If I
muted.
was doing, if I was doing it on my own and had to, it would take, a little bit of time. I'm quicker than most probably,
Yes.
but it would probably take me an hour or two, depending on if I had to sit there and write the script and then voice it and then find the
images.
Okay. I meant before we had access to the images, we would have been doing storyboards, coloring, trying to get somebody to get us the images, or we would have to go out and shoot the image outside and see if we can get a cloudy day, and then how we're going to arrange the animals. And that would have been a...
The other thing I liked was that it animated it. I was like, oh, okay, I can choose whether I want real people or animation or what.
Take your hand. Okay. I was going to tell you, take your hand off your things. It would have taken a long time to get that piece. Gary, put your echo on and off.
Okay, thanks.
That piece would have took a while.
It would have.
Yeah.
It would have.
Yes,
Fred,
so I was excited about it, and I also created a little storybook for my grandson last night. I don't know if I should go there. Let's see.
We did some stuff with Biz Chicks, and I think you should do the one with Zara. I mean, what is it?
Oh, okay.
Zenny?
other
Nia.
Nia.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm like, how could we not use the tools? Oh my gosh, because all of it, we're BizChicks, we're all about helping you take the hassle out of your hustle.
Mm-hmm.
So we did the workshop on AI, but we didn't use PowerPoint slides for it. And so Terry is going to show you what we did instead. And I was like, oh, this is genius.
Let's see if I can find her.
I might have her. Anywho, it is very interesting. Nia's in the Nia's. You found her?
Yeah, let me open this.
You can put her up in the
here and share my screen while it is opening. And so here she is. Let's go full screen.
Not share. Yeah, do full screen. There we go. And
can
push
you see her?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Nia's Luminous Flames. Meet Nia. In her cozy Jamaican workshop, she poured her heart into every candle. Nia's Luminous Flames wasn't just a business. It was a passion filled with the scent of mango, ginger, and the sea breeze. She loved mixing waxes and wicks. But computers? Too much fuss, she'd always say with a chuckle. Nia's candles were beautiful, but her shop was quiet. She knew her unique scents could bring joy to more people. But how? The internet felt like a tangled fishing net, and her old-fashioned flyers just weren't cutting it anymore. If only there was a simpler way to tell the world, she sighed. One sunny afternoon, her niece, Zara, bounced into the shop. Auntie Nia, your candles are amazing, but you need to get online. Have you heard of AI? It can help you with everything. Nia raised an eyebrow. AI? Sounds like something from a sci-fi movie, dear. I prefer real intelligence. Zara, patient and persistent, showed Nia her phone. It's like having a super smart assistant. It can write descriptions, suggest marketing ideas, even help you name new scents. Nia peered at the screen. It looked complicated, but Zara's excitement was contagious. Just one try, Auntie. Nia decided to dip her toe in. All right, AI, she muttered. Help me describe my tropical sunset candle. Zara typed in a few words. Instantly, a vibrant description appeared on the screen, full of evocative words Nia would never have thought of. Well, I'll be, she exclaimed, a smile spreading across her face. That small victory sparked something in Nia. She started asking the AI for more help. It suggested new social media posts, catchy slogans, and even gave her ideas for unique candle packaging inspired by Jamaican art. This AI fella is quite clever, she giggled. Soon, Nia's Luminous Flames was buzzing. Her online presence grew, and orders started pouring in from all over the island and even beyond. Customers loved her new descriptions and the beautiful packaging. Nia was busier and happier than ever. Nia realized, I wasn't just for her. She organized a small gathering for other local artisans. Come, my friends, she announced. Let Auntie Nia show you how this artificial intelligence can make your businesses shine too. Soon, the aroma of success filled the air, not just from Nia's candles, but from the thriving businesses of her friends. They learned to use AI for everything from inventory management to designing unique marketing campaigns. Nia, once a tech skeptic, became their cheerful AI guru. Nia's Luminous Flames continued to glow brightly, a testament to her passion and her willingness to learn something new. She proved that with a little curiosity and a lot of heart, anyone, at any age, can embrace new tools and make their dreams shine even brighter.
Hello, ladies.
So I could not see it for some reason. It was not showing up for me. So I had to end up going to YouTube to watch it, to see it at the same time. So it looked great what I did see of it. But for some reason for me, it didn't show up.
I don't,
interesting.
yeah, because I was seeing it, but okay.
I think it's
you
because you all are signed in to this, maybe, and I am not. So that could be the reason why. Like, I'm truly a
Oh,
guest. I don't know.
on the screen? I see
No,
what
but
you mean.
it should have been in here as
It
Also,
wasn't. Not for
okay.
me.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check on that.
Yeah, it's okay.
And I'll check with TJ and make sure because I saw it within the screen
the
here.
screen. Mhm.
Yeah. Anywho,
Sorry.
That's okay.
it was interesting.
Would you
TJ,
over
did
there
you
also?
see it? TJ, were you able to see it? The
Yeah,
story?
I saw it. Then I had to walk. I had to leave, but it was on the screen. So I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
We gotta. There's little things I need to check on. So, anywho, it was very. Terry used that to teach from instead
you
of
can take
traditional slides.
complicated subject and put it into a little story, because I think it's easier for people to relate to something
Mm-hmm.
entertaining, colorful, moving, and then we talked about it.
I think it's fantastic.
Mm.
And again,
Well done.
to create the
Yeah.
slides and do all the stuff.
It's been a
Oh
blessing.
my gosh.
Mhm.
And there are some people who are going to be stuck in like, I just like doing it the old way. Okay. You go ahead and bring that water up from the river in a bucket.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Fred says he saw it.
Okay, good. Good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think it was something
Good.
inside here because I am
He
truly
said
a
there
guest.
are some-
No,
I
you
need
should
to-
no, you should have still been able to see, even if you're a guest in the chair, you should still be able to see what's happening on the screen. So
Yeah, I thought so. I don't know.
yeah,
It's okay.
tech is still tech, and we still got kinks and glitches and stuff.
Yeah. No
Okay.
worries.
But TJ, you're up, I guess. Or Terralina, are you saying something? If you are, you're muted.
I was just looking at what he was saying. He was saying the world is a template, and AI is showing that. Hmm He did say there were audio issues. Oh, regarding. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. After he talked about the digital rabbit hole, he said, "What the real Moses look."
It's like He-Man, the cartoon.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yes, and then he says, "We need a black version." Yeah, you could tell it. You can program it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just went with the regular settings, and he said there were some audio issues, but yeah, but he
Okay.
did get to see them. Okay,
All right, can we test something before I start? So just make sure,
sure.
because I'm going to do a screen share and see if Dr. Tati can see that. I'm just going to share like a tab.
Okay.
Can she-
Yes, I see it.
Okay. All right.
Good. I
Just
see it. We all.
Yeah, I saw it.
I
Oh.
saw it.
okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know what happened with
What happened with that? I don't know.
I'm chopped liver. That's what happened.
No, you're not. I yeah.
We're not receiving that.
No. And Dr. Tachi, I'm gonna reach out to you a little later on and ask you about some various streaming services.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? Social media?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So social media news and update this week. We have one from Snapchat. So Snapchat has a new lens that lets you create AI images using text prompts. So it lets users create and edit images using a text-to-image AI generator. It's called Imagine Lens. It's available to Snapchat Plus Platinum and Lens Plus subscribers. So it lets you create, edit, and recreate snaps by putting in your own text prompt. You share the image with your friends, post it to your story, and you can download and share it outside of Snapchat. So here's some of the examples. They said people can generate images using custom prompts, create an image of a grumpy cat, turn me into an alien. There's also preloaded prompts that people can use. That's like, for example, turn me into a to 5-panel comic where something unexpected but heroic happens. Make this person skydive, blah, blah, blah. So what it is when you're in Snapchat and you're in the camera, it has a little over the overlay, and it says make me into a cat, and you tap it and it turns because the camera's on, so it turns you into whatever you type into the text prompt.
Oh, so we're not beholden to who all of the other lenses. Somebody else had to create the lens.
Yeah, just type in whatever it is you want. I think the example from the article was like the young lady was looking at Snapchat, and she was looking at the camera. It was her, and then the bar said, "Make me a cowgirl," and you tap it, and it made her into a cowgirl. It was her, but she had on a cowboy hat, and the upper part was the cowboy-ish clothing. Yeah.
Question. Is this a lens, or is this actually AI turning you rather than it being AR, like augmented reality?
Right.
Is it AI that turns you into it?
Right. It's a lens. Because remember when you go into Snapchat, you go into the camera and
the lens. Yes.
Snapchat makes those for you. This is you making your own by using.
So you're making your own lenses. Okay.
Yeah.
And did they give you?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me look real quick. I think I got Snapchat.
Oh, well, I wanted to know if they gave you, there are set choices, or you can actually make things yourself.
That when you go into the camera, well, okay, I don't think I have it yet. I don't see it, but I'm looking at myself, and then at the bottom they have the lenses. Here's one with there's a raccoon, there's a rose, it makes the face. So instead of you doing that, there's a text bar, and you either use the suggestion, which in the article said make me a cowgirl, and it's you, but you have the whatever thing that you asked it. So it's text prompt.
Okay.
But you must have Snapchat Plus Platinum, and so it's not. Oh, that's why I don't have it. I was like, why don't I have it? Because I'm not paying.
Exactly. Wow. Wow. But may I ask, are there people that are paying? Lots of people that are paying for Snapchat Plus?
This Snapchat is what is it, 13 to 20, 30? There's lots of this Gen Z young millennial, they pay for it because of things like that. Because remember, they like to dress up their emojis because this is from playing games, from Fortnite and Roblox. They love dressing up their avatar and buying things for the avatar because they're used to it because they play games that does it. So Snapchat put that in there, and remember, they use Snapchat exclusively for talking to their friends. There's the private messaging part of it. Remember we passed notes in school, and so that's what they use it for. It's their communication tool. They don't really the other things.
So
they may have an Instagram, but mom watches it. So they either get a Finsta or they go to Snapchat and they privately talk.
This is interesting. So just really quickly, not to interrupt, but it made me think about the fact that, people, they're using Roblox, they're using Snapchat. You can buy things. My Snapchat avatar has had the same outfit on for how many years? Because I'm not, so I'm not buying anything for it. But this is the interesting thing. So networks, etc., if they're trying to reach this demographic, these are the things you have to do, because you're like, okay, well, nobody's going to, they're not going to pay for a subscription to content like that, but they will pay for a subscription to something that gives them leeway to change things around because that's what they're used to. So it just made me think of that. Yeah.
Right. And remember this group, how they act. And I've always said our group, what did we do? We went to the mall, we hung out at the quadrangle or the square or the this or the that. And you talked about everything. They do that in Snapchat, this group. And because there's a private part and a public part. So they may do a public snap, but privately they're in the back talking to their group or different people and sending snaps privately. So that's how you have to remember with Snapchat, this is not us. This is this group. How do teenagers behave? How do they want to communicate? I remember as a kid, the phone was like, okay, I need call waiting because, my mom was like, get up the phone. I need to. So I was like, you're talking to your friends and you're talking for hours. They don't do that anymore. They're in Snapchat doing things. So Snapchat knows what this group is doing. So again, who's paying for it? Either they're paying for it or the parents or the grandparents. Because I think, Charlie, didn't you say something about one of your grandkids that they were giving it or you bought it for Christmas or a gift?
That's what they wanted. They wanted a gift card for Roblox.
Yes.
For her birthday. So she could buy little outfits because she was like 7 or 8 at the time, and it was just coming out, and they were, had the little outfits and things. So, and here's the other thing: they're learning how to do prompt to
text prompts. They get what they want. Yeah.
So technically, they're learning how to communicate better.
They're learning how to use the tools. To me, it's still cheaper than me having to buy her a cowgirl outfit.
Right.
Here's $8. I'm good. So she can dress up on screen. I'm cool. Here's the $8.
Right. This is the behavior they do from gaming, from all of that. Buying the avatar things, dressing up the avatar, making it personable to them. So this world, that's what they do. And also, I didn't know this, the Platinum Plus is $15.99 a month. The Lens Plus subscription is $8.99. So this is not even the Snapchat Plus regular.
$15.99 what?
This is the premium. Yeah, Snapchat Plus premium. I think we might have talked about this. I forgot. So remember, Snapchat Plus, what is it, $3.99 or $4.99? That's a basic level. So they upped it to the premium. You get more stuff. I don't, because I don't follow it. I just, I'm like, okay, I know about it. So they have a premium version, which is $15.99. That's what this article says. Platinum is $15.99.
And of course, you're gonna want the $15.99 because you want that cowgirl hat and you want that outfit.
Right. This AI, I can
buy tennis shoes, Dr. Tachi. Come on now.
No, but after a while,
has a business, so she wants to take some of her little profits and pay for that.
Right.
That's fine. Listen, you like it, I like it for you. You can spend your money on whatever you like.
Well, not quite, but you. But go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's up to them.
Yeah, so that's why I always talk about Snapchat, because everybody outside of that demographic is going with Snapchat. What? Why would I pay for it? It's because of the behaviors of that group that they pay for it, or they get a job and they pay for it, or the parents pay for it, or the grandparents, or whoever. And like Carolina said, what do you want for Christmas? A Snapchat Plus subscription. And they go, okay, there you go.
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe a gift card. But
yeah. No, I'm saying that's the thing. What do the kids want? Oh, Snapchat Plus, Platinum, and they get it.
Because that's so that's $16 a month, right?
Yeah, the Platinum. So to do this, which is the text to AI Lens, you need the $15 one or the $8.99 Lens Plus subscription. I'm not sure what's in each one. I think the Lens is, you get the specialty lenses and stuff. Platinum, I'll have to look up and see. But I know there's a basic, there's a Platinum, and then the Lens Plus. So and kids are buying it. How they buy it, that's a different discussion. But they are getting subscriptions. So
how do they buy anything? How do they buy anything? This is the same thing. Same way they get the tennis shoes and the dresses and the whatever.
This is interesting, though, because this is the dichotomy between the generations of people who felt like they needed to have physical, tangible stuff versus those who are okay with the digital, intangible things that you really kind of don't own. It's because if it goes away, it just kind of goes away. There's nothing for you to really download or anything where you physically have it. Even though you can download some of these things, it's not the same. So it's interesting to look at this shift from the physical world and physically owning to the digital world and virtually owning.
I think it's a good thing too in a lot of ways, because now we don't
Yeah,
have to try to figure out how to recycle all that stuff. Okay.
absolutely.
You know, that part. And I think it just plays into a real need globally, especially in America. I don't know if we can get any more stuff in our houses. You know, every
We don't
generation.
need
Yeah,
anything.
Yeah, this is about, you know, things, and also remember Gen Z and younger, they like recycling things. They don't like buying like physical things. Take up environmental whatever. This
they
does
do.
too, but in their mind, is you know, I'm not buying things. I don't have junk full of things. I don't have, like, maybe they have grandparents that, you know, they're hoarders or they have things all piled up. They don't like that kind of thing, to have physical
No,
Yeah.
items.
I
but
don't
they
know if
do like TikTok Shop now.
Yes,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yes. So the Platinum plan has 40 features, including custom app icons, chat wallpapers, and the ability to see story rewatch counts, among other benefits, without ads. It's an ad-free experience. Lenses, there's all kind of things that are in the plus one. But like I said, you know, when you have teenagers in your family, I'm like, I used to rack my brain trying to figure out what to get my niece and nephew when they were younger, and I was like, I just started giving them cash here, because I'm like, teenagers, they want particular things, and I'm not going here and there and everywhere to try to find the latest sneaker or the latest. I don't know that stuff. Here's some money. Merry Christmas. Buy what you like, enjoy, because you don't want to give them a box of socks or whatever in their face, the face they make, like, right.
For real. For real, Granny. This is what you thought. Want it.
I'm just saying, you want to give them stuff they want and they're going to use. So here, Snapchat Plus, yay! I'm going to run and tell all my friends I'm going to Snapchat. So that's the kind of thing that's going on. You just okay, digital. I'm done. I don't have to go to 25 places to find this t-shirt or these sneakers, or I might get the wrong sneakers, or these are out of style, or this brand isn't great and they want Supreme.
Or I didn't buy immediately, and so the
right.
launch is over. And I missed
the hot thing in teenage land. And they want the hot thing. They want to have the trendy hot thing. I remember in school, it was like you had to have Calvin Klein jeans. You had to have this kind of jeans. It's like if you didn't have it, you were on the outside group. So that kind of thing still goes on. So the older person in your family, I'm like, what's the hot thing with the teens? It's some brand, and it changes so fast. So this way you get them a digital thing. You know they like it, and you're good. I can move on to something I want to do, and not spend hours and hours trying to figure out what do the teens want in my family. The grandmas is like, I don't know, what do they do? They had their phone stuck in their face all the time. So Snapchat. That's how it goes. So. But I'm not really, like I said, I went to Snapchat and went like, oh, I don't have it. It's because I'm not paying $15.99 a month. I will not. So
now Fred has a comment. He says Talk Shop comes off like a bunch of virtual street vendors selling Temu stuff. Well, because it is. It's a marketplace. And so just think of, you know how when you're island hopping and all the tourists come through the what do you call it? The visitors marketplace. We know, visitors, the tour comes through here. So, we're all set up and we're offering you stuff. Hi.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just texting. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that part.
So, Yeah, so that, I mean, that always comes up like, who's buying this? Who's paying for the Snapchat Plus? They're buying it. I have to look up the numbers and see, or I don't know if Snapchat is releasing that, how many subscribers they have, but they have quite a few. So, but you know, here's something for them to do. All right, so let's move on to Meta. There's things happening with Meta. So let's say, yay. Instagram. Instagram finally has an iPad app.
Oh,
For that,
10 million years later.
Have it, and I don't like it.
But may I ask, what's the difference between, I already have Instagram on my iPad, and I understand that it's for, what's the difference?
It's a different, okay, so if you update yours, it's a different experience. It's more reels based than you see in the post. It's less, it doesn't feel like the experience with the phone. You know, Instagram with the phone, and you go in and when you use it on the iPad, it's a bigger screen. The experience is great, like the visual, the UI is great. But I was like, I'm not a Reels person. What are all these Reels? So that's what you get in the iPad. Then I have to go, okay, I don't want to see the Reels. I want to see the person's post, like so I have to tap the thing and go into their profile. And then I got to switch the view from Reels over. So I was like, I'm not a fan of it, but people have been asking for this. And like Dr. Taji said, we've been using it. The regular, you just because it comes in small, you just tap the little arrows and it becomes full size, and it's just the phone version.
Right. Okay.
Now it is a different viewing experience of Reels first. And I kept swiping. I was like, okay, where are the posts? And it just kept giving me Reels and Reels and Reels. I'm like, I'm not a Reels person. I try to avoid them. So if you like Reels and you have an iPad,
I think a lot of people are using Reels as entertainment, you know, to replace, you know.
But see, I'm not there for that. I don't.
Yeah,
I know people, but I know I will not use Instagram on the iPad. I will stick with the phone because I don't want to see Reels coming at me.
Why did they change the experience though? Especially since so many people are already used to.
They were okay. So you know they're chasing TikToks. TikTok is video quick and their demo. Millennials and Gen Z, they like that quick stuff coming at you. They've been working on this for a while. There was a quote from Adam. I didn't include it. I forgot what it was, but he was saying like they were working on it and they want the experience to be more of they want to focus on Reels. And I was like, well, that's not for me. I'm not ever.
You want to be TikTok. That's it.
I don't
tell the truth.
So let me give you the story.
Okay.
So they're saying it took 15 years to get people were asking for it. I wasn't. So they're saying it's been redesigned from the smartphone app into a tablet-based app with redesigned elements. So for instance, the app opens directly into a feed of Reels. Now I updated it and used it before I read the article, and I was looking at it going, why am I seeing Reels? So now I read the article, I was like, okay, that's why. They want it to be Reels first. And I'm like, I don't like that. So the iPad app also lets users organize posts and Reels into a chronological list with recent posts appearing first. Now, see, I would like that, but I don't want the Reels. Also, comments on Reels will appear right next to the videos, and the DM page will include the inbox alongside the actual chat. Now, I didn't pay attention to that. Let me open it up real quick because I got mad about the Reels view. I was like, what is this?
You got distracted. Okay.
I don't want to go in. Okay, it goes in and it immediately goes into a Reel. I don't want that.
Okay. Well, Fred says, how about a new show? Let's get real. Hot trending Reels across social media. And then he says, I see it. It's probably better for editing and creating Reels. Okay.
So I'm trying to see what they were talking about the comments. Oh, I see. Okay, so the comments slide in from when you hit the comment icon, the comments slide in from the left, and you can still see half of the reel. So it's a different experience from using the smartphone. But I don't want to do this because now I saw something. Here's something good. It's a reel. But if I want to go see their post, I got to tap their profile. I go into their profile, then I got to tap over to the what's the grid version, and then I get to see posts and reels. But it takes me right into reels. There's no getting out of it.
Fred got her hand up.
So if they're copying TikTok, TikTok does not have an iPad version. Why did they not do an iPad version? Just saying.
Because TikTok doesn't care about the iPad.
My point.
If you look at the
Really
go ahead.
audience. Are iPad people really the audience?
iPad people,
Tablet people, not necessarily. Like a tablet is just something you have for productivity.
Yeah.
It's not something, because let me tell you how I got the first one I got in 2012, and that was because they gave it to us at the university. They never gave us anything else in our department. So when they said, yeah, who wants an iPad? We were all laughing. Oh, you're for real? Because they never gave us it. They always updated the technology departments and everything.
Right.
But those of us in the division of humanities, we never got anything. So that was the first way that they were like, okay, well, we'll do iPad working group. You think these buggers met in these groups? I tried, they didn't. So that's how I first got it, and I kept that until it was no longer updatable. And that's when I got the one I had now. But I only got the one I had now. Remember when Clubhouse was a thing and it was only on iOS? So I said, well, I need to update my iPad anyway. Let me just get a new one. And that was how I was on Clubhouse for the longest time.
Yes.
C'est la vie. So it's not for, it's really a productivity tool, but you can get apps, etc. But most people are not carrying around that clunky iPad everywhere. You can't put it in your pocket, unless you are Gulliver from Gulliver's Travels.
I just use it if I'm in a different spot and I don't want to have my desktop. I just, okay. And I Instagram was there just for a quick look. Like, let me see just a quick look at. And if I want Instagram, I would use the phone. But now it's like, I don't even want to. It goes right into reels. And I'm like, I'm just not a fan.
It's not a good experience for people who are used to the traditional Instagram. If I want TikTok, I'll go to TikTok. That's not a good experience. And I haven't even seen it yet, but from what you're explaining, it sounds like TikTok when you first get there, all TikToks, and you're just scrolling through them. That's what I want with Instagram.
And I'm like, I know Instagram has other things because I use it on the phone. So it's not that experience is different. So some people want that. I'm not one. So I know I won't look for, if I have my iPad, I'm not going to go to Instagram for it because I don't like that experience. But that's me.
Okay.
The reels are jarring and just stupid to me. So I'm like, some of them.
It's like watching TV, a bunch of TV stuff of nothing of your choosing. It's just stuff, and it's like stuff I didn't ask for. At least with YouTube, they recommend something in the realm of what you asked for.
Exactly. Because if I like reels, say if somebody's a travel blogger or something, those reels are going to be great because they're going to show a scene. They have a different aesthetic. But if you get something else, I'm like, I don't want that. So.
Okay. Well, Fred's iPad Mini is gold.
Okay.
Okay. So would this be one of our who asked for this?
Yes.
So did you update yours yet or no? Did you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so
I haven't yet.
So you go and update iPad, the Instagram on the iPad, and you'll see it's there. There's no way to go back.
Okay, so
Which leads
Fred
me to the
says
fact, should I?
Gen Z is trending in buying iPad Mini.
iPad Mini. Yeah,
He says,
there's one of the guys that I work with. He's a videographer and a photographer. He loves his iPad Mini. He keeps it on his little hand and does everything. He edits, does everything on the Mini.
okay.
Yeah, I like using mine. I like using Canva. And see now that I went to the Mini, now it's got the new Instagram. So I don't know. I mean, update yours and see. Maybe we could talk about that.
Okay.
If you update, I don't know if you're going to update yours.
The thing is, again, I use it for productivity.
You have no choice because I went into my other. It did it automatically. If you open up Instagram, it's going to automatically update.
And who asked for that? Give us
I didn't ask you.
Yeah, I just went to my other one. I didn't update. I went to Instagram and it updated. It just went, here's a new experience. Continue.
Well, Fred said, remember the evolution of the foldable phones? And he says that's evolving right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I don't like them, but they are.
I'm not getting a foldable phone. I'm sorry.
No, to me, there's too much room for error with the technology inside by fold. And it's not where it's hinged like the old flip phones were. This is actually the screen folding in on itself. Not that I want for anything to happen, but there needs to be too many iterations of this for it to work properly. I don't want to be the test pig. That's not a thing.
Okay, it's called physics, right?
Pig. Yes.
You do this. You keep doing this. And this
after a while. After a while, it rips.
And they've already seen, and I'm not paying $2,000 or $3,000 for a phone in the page, and all of a sudden the thing is like,
why?
And the corner begins to fringe, and stuff happens, and this gets weaker and weaker. Oh no.
And those types of things you have to keep too preciously, where you're like, oh, let me put it back. And that doesn't mean you should throw your phones and things around, but this is something that has a propensity to be dropped. It needs to be a little more hardy than this. We don't need anything. Phones are already fragile. We don't need you to add to the fragility.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We don't need that. I don't need the extra stress. All right.
Extra stress. Okay.
So one more from Instagram. Instagram is testing picture-in-picture viewing for Reels. So they are allowing users to watch Reels in a small floating window on their screen while browsing other apps to allow for multitasking. So here we go again. The focus on Reels.
This is called confusion.
Focus on Reels. Reels.
How are you going to watch work done? So we were not allowed to watch TV until we got our homework done. So, because you could not concentrate on two things at the same time. You still can't. Now, I can listen, maybe have something playing in the background, listening, but that's also going to be subject to, it can't be just something talking to me. It has to be whatever I'm working on. Like if I'm editing something, I can't have something listening in the background.
So, of course, Instagram is following TikTok and YouTube with this because, they have picture-in-picture. And if you have the iPhone, it is do picture-in-picture. You just flip it up and go do. So they're putting it, Instagram is testing it. So not sure if they're going to roll this out or not. I hope not. But
because in the picture-in-picture on YouTube, I'm listening to something while I'm doing.
Right.
I'm not watching it.
The different experience.
It's you need to have that only works when there's something that you can do passively where I don't need to interact with it.
Right.
Instagram, God love you. You're God love you. You're trying.
Another who asked for it. All right, one more.
Oh, sorry. One thing. There is a. Did you notice that it forms the acronym WAFT? Who asked for this?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. So
that's WAF.
Just a yes. That's
That
WAFT.
could be our own little keyword. That's WAF.
Exactly. There you go.
put WAF on this word. Okay, good to know. All right, Threads is now supporting text attachments up to 10K characters. We talked about this last week, but now it's out.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
This is out. You go to your in Threads, you go to your what do they call it? Composer, when you want to write a thread or create a thread. And there's an icon under what's new, and it looks like, I believe it looks like a little square of paper or something. I don't have it yet. I don't see it. But be able to attach up to 10,000 characters of text to a post. In posts with text attachments, you can link out to your content, and you can have links inside of the extra attachment, because it'll be a little gray square and you just tap it and it opens up. So this way, because remember, a thread, you get a 500 character limit and then it cuts you off, and then you have to do the thread of another. But some people I've seen, some people have gotten, well, where this is what people that write a good post, and they have the little thread icon and it's continued. A lot of people don't know to tap and go and see, because they're like, well, where's the rest of it? Where's the rest? So this is why they're doing it. So you can put a longer post in that original post, and people can tap on it and see the whole thing instead of doing the thread. And I think somebody had one the other day that was 8, and you had to keep tapping and reading it. So this is why they're doing it. Threads users will now be able to append text snippets of up to 10,000 characters to their posts. This feature is meant to support journalists and creators on the platforms. So it opens up a simple text editor that has some formatting options. Once it's published to Threads, text attachments open either in a full screen view on mobile or in a dedicated window when you're on the website. If the post contains a link, the text attachment will also show a preview of the link post at the end of the text.
Like Facebook.
So people are doing screenshots of things, trying to get the whole, the 500 character, get beyond the 500 character limit. Now remember, X has this, but you have to pay. Like X lets you write these long Twitter posts, but you had to pay that guy the money, and like, I'm not doing it. So Threads said, hey, come on over here, write your 10,000 characters. Here's your post. People tap it and read it. So, so that's what they.
We got a few comments here whenever you're ready because we moved on, but Fred says TikTok expands the iPad and does flow in landscape. Okay. And then he says, come on, with all the new tech and speed of things, that issue won't last long. They'll find it. Okay, so they'll find the fix, he says. Okay. They'll find the fix.
The hinge.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. He says TikTok does the same thing in floating app while doing the other stuff. So evidently they are still copying TikTok. And let's see, all these moves is for the iPad tablet world, not really the phone.
Right.
Okay, this is what he says, this is what I would call digital white noise. I may still want to hear the real while going to do something else. Okay, and let's hide that and see what else we got. He says, I still do not like Threads. He's not a fan.
That's okay. But there's lots of great conversations going on right now.
Yeah.
Millennials are really burning that place up.
Oh, okay.
Lots of stuff. Crazy stories,
Mhm.
political stuff, tech stuff. They're going dating.
They're
I'm
going
dating
in.
a dating thing where they put their dating horror stories, all kind. I've just been entertained by that thing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to watch my threads because this is too entertaining for me. All right, so one more. Amazon has launched Lens Live, an AI-powered shopping tool. So it is an AI-powered upgrade to its Amazon Lens shopping feature that allows consumers to discover new products through visual search. This is similar to Google Lens and Pinterest Lens. Now, I love Google Lens because I think I've shared this before. I've been on the
Yeah.
subway, I'm walking down the street, and I see somebody's shoes or bag or this and that, and I take a picture of them. I don't take a picture of them. I just hold my camera. I'm like, oh, what shoes are those? And it takes a link to where I can buy the shoes. So Amazon is putting that into their app. So now, Lens Live does not replace Amazon's existing visual search tool, Amazon Lens, which lets you take a picture, upload an image, or scan a barcode to discover products. Instead, it brings you a real-time component to Amazon Lens so you can point your phone at things you're seeing in the real world to see matching products in a swipeable carousel at the bottom of the screen. So Lens Live also capitalizes on comparison shopping while you're in a retail store out in the real world to see if Amazon has a better deal on the same or a similar item. So that's what you do. So you just, when you're using it, you go into the camera. There should be an option. I haven't looked. And then you just, like Google Lens, you just hold the camera at it and it takes a picture and tries to find it on Amazon. So that's the comparison shopping part of it. Also, Amazon is doing things to the shopping assistant Rufus. So Rufus will allow customers to see AI-generated product summaries and suggested questions of controversial prompts they can ask. Conversational prompts they can ask to learn more about the items. I don't know if anybody's used Rufus. I've used it a couple of times.
Yes, I don't like the name Rufus, but that's okay.
I don't either. I don't like it either, but that's what they're calling it. So it's like a FAQ, their AI FAQ. If you have, and it uses the comments and reviews of the products. So if you have a question that's not answered because there's a section where people ask and answer questions. There's a section where people review what they don't like and what's bad about it. But there's also Rufus if you can go and ask it specifically what you want to know about this item before you buy it. So Rufus will also be a part of this Lens Live comparison shopping, Google Lens type of item. Okay, everybody got that?
Yes.
All right. So, and just one more extra. I threw this in because I wasn't gonna throw it in, but I was like, I used it. So PayPal and Venmo are giving out comment invites and free Perplexity Pro subscriptions. Now, does everybody know about Perplexity Pro?
No.
Okay, Perplexity is another AI tool.
Mm-hmm.
It works more like Google Gemini, and a lot of people like Perplexity, but it's a free version. You go to perplexity dot whatever, or you have the app.
I've been over there. Uh-huh.
Okay, there's a pro version. I'm not sure what you get with it's like everybody has the free and then the $20 version. Gemini has the free and the $20. ChatGPT has the free and the $20. So Perplexity has the free and the $20. But if you use your PayPal and Venmo, you have to connect them to Perplexity. You get a free year of Perplexity Pro. Why they're doing this is because Perplexity, when you give it prompts or you ask it queries, if you're in like a shopping mode where you want to buy something, it will connect with whatever the website or whatever that offers it, the site that offers it, and you can instantly buy because you connected your PayPal or Venmo. So you get the free year, you get a whole year of Perplexity Pro. Now I signed up for it, but I'm not going to buy anything. I just wanted the Perplexity Pro for a year. So I want to see how it goes. I will put the link in the chat to the article because the article had the link to sign up on the website, but now I think they took it out. So now you have to sign up through PayPal itself or Venmo itself. Now I don't use Venmo, so I don't know how to do that. But I did do the PayPal, so it connected my PayPal, and then it asked me what backup thing did I want to use to buy stuff. And I have like not a dummy card, but I have a card that okay, you can't charge this card because it's not there's no way for you to, but it works. So I chose that because I'm like, don't charge in a year, don't, because I want to forget. Don't charge me in a year.
Exactly.
So I have like a card for that. So I was like, okay, you guys can connect to that card. I don't really care. So, and I'll just set a reminder for myself in a year. Okay, make sure they canceled it. So it's Perplexity Pro. You get the actual Perplexity Pro, plus you get the Comet browser. So all of this is and Comet browser is the like a Chrome browser that Perplexity has. Perplexity has its own browser, just like OpenAI, ChatGPT is trying to make a browser because they want to get you out of Chrome and get you into their ecosystem. So this is a way for Perplexity to get you to use it. And I like Perplexity. I mean, I've asked it certain things, but my go-to is Google. But now I'm going to have the Pro for a year. I'm going to be doing more Perplexity Pros, and because I asked it today. When did I ask it today? I asked it something about the data with teenagers, Gen Z, and Pinterest, because there's something going on with that crowd and Pinterest. And it told me, I think it told me that Pinterest is like the biggest, the teenagers are the biggest users now, like 47% or something. Let me see if I can. Yeah,
really?
I said latest data on teens and Pinterest. They're the fastest growing and most dominant demographic on Pinterest. 42% of the platform's global user base and over 200 million monthly active users worldwide, which I did not know.
I didn't either.
And I asked it that because I saw an article about, I think over in the UK or something, Pinterest has something to keep because they're supposed to be in school, and it knows during the school hours, it tells them to get out of Pinterest. And be productive in school. Somehow that I skimmed it, but it's something about keeping the kids off of Pinterest during school hours. And it was in the UK and other places. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on with Pinterest and teenagers? So then I did the Perplexity Pro thing, and it gave me all of this data. So I was like, okay, I might be using that more. And it gives me a link to, of course, it gives you the link to the source of the articles of the data. So I kind of like it. So if you want, let me I'll put that in the chat while we go on to Dr. Tachi, because we're running a little bit hot. But that's it for social media news update this week.
All righty. Dr. Tachi, you are up.
Let me find it and I'll put it in there. You're muted, I think.
I'm muted, yeah. I said, let me make sure I'm off of mute. Okay, so we have a few things to talk about today. And well, the first thing, actually, I wanted to piggyback or be in tandem with the tech thing. And if you, in case you're noticing me, bobbing, I'm cycling or doing the elliptical. So that's why.
Yeah, I noticed. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So, smart. Interesting. Oh, okay. So this is interesting. Age and driving, right? This is the thing as people get up in age. And this just in, according to Axios, there's a new technology which could decide your, quote, driver retirement score.
Oh, really?
So, yes. So GM has actually developed new technology that could help you decide when it's time to take away keys from someone that may be too old to drive, quote unquote, right? So this is difficult because on their own, people will not stop driving, right? They know I can drive, but sometimes it is a danger to themselves and to others. So GM engineers have actually applied for a patent on a system that collects vehicle driver data to calculate a, quote, driver retirement score. So this was actually published not too long ago, maybe last week, August 28th, at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Because, you know, if you're wanting to know what's happening technology-wise, you can always go and look up these patents because they're public. So this was filed on the 28th of August. And this is how it works. According to Axios, it uses an array of different data inputs from both the driver and the vehicle. So it monitors driver reaction times, squinting, and signs of fatigue, for example. It can also detect how often other motorists honk, whether drivers use their turn signals appropriately, and whether they comply with traffic signs. The system can even determine whether driving improves or deteriorates over time. And then once a score is computed, the system can generate a report with recommendations for the driver, and if desired, it can notify a designated family member. So GM doesn't really comment on patent filings, and they may not even sell the technology. They may not do anything with it. But this is obviously aimed at having this difficult conversation with elderly drivers. The thing I noticed with this
conversation with all drivers, but go ahead.
Well, exactly, because
a discount if you do that with your car.
Yeah, where you do the plug-in thing. Yeah. Well, the thing is, some of these things are general attributes and may not be associated with being elderly. I know some terrible drivers who do these types of things. So I'm like, is it really fair to... The only thing I could see is the deterioration over time, which also may not point to this person being elderly. So I think maybe they'll need to tweak it to see what's what. I wouldn't rely on that as my only source of determining whether or not somebody is fit to drive. But
here's the other thing.
It is what it is.
When a car costs $50,000 and $70,000, the likelihood of them telling elderly people they can't drive when they got the money to buy it, you're probably not going to see that no time soon.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Exactly. And I think
wreck your car. Hey, it's covered. Whatever.
And you're right. And I don't think that elderly drivers are the main cause of accidents and things. If anything, they're driving slower. And I'm not saying they don't cause accidents, but I think they're being more careful more than anything, right?
Most of the time they drive between 10 and 2. So there's not a lot of traffic on the road.
They're not exactly. They're not They're driving when everybody else is at work. They're driving short distances. They're not doing interstate trucking. Okay, so that doesn't mean there's no credence to this argument. But I'm like, there are other drivers who don't fit this bill who do these things. So
we can benefit from. Yeah.
Exactly. They may not even sell this technology, as they said. So we'll see what happens. I just want to bring that up because I saw it and it was interesting. Okay. Now, I love fashion, and fashion is part of media/pop culture. We lost an icon, a fashion icon. Giorgio Armani passed away at the age of 91 Thursday.
Oh,
just
wow.
yesterday. Yeah. And so the Armani Group says, sorry, go ahead.
I did not know that. Oh, wait a minute. We got something going on. Okay, I see here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, good. So
we had some posts, but they are websites. Oh, and here's Fred. Fred, before we change subjects, he says older folks will put on scooters in the city. Oh my gosh. I visualize that. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi. I'm sorry.
Listen, yes. No, that's okay. I know I'm visualizing that too. So as you know, he was Italian fashion designer, and the Armani Group put this out. With infinite sorrow, the Armani Group announces the passing of its creator, founder, and tireless driving force, Giorgio Armani. Armani passed away peacefully, surrounded by his loved ones. Tireless, he worked until his final days, dedicating himself to the company, its collections, and the diverse, evolving projects, both existing and in progress. So apparently he's been ill for some time. He canceled his appearance at Milan's Men's Fashion Week in June, and that was the first time in his career that he's ever missed one of his own events. So his last public appearance was on May 21st. So we, of course, there were well wishings from other designers. Donatella Versace, who's a fellow Italian designer, posted a picture of him on her Instagram and said the world lost a giant today. And yeah, he is. So let me tell you about some of his breakout moments. 1980 was one of the really standout moments. He started his company in 1975, but he started designing the suits worn by Richard Gere in the movie American Gigolo. And then it expanded into a global empire. And they covered everything from haute couture to high street fashion, from eyeglasses to shoes and even homeware. So, and then again, I used to love Armani Exchange, which was like the not necessarily streetwear, but it wasn't the couture line, right? So I still have some Armani Exchange pieces. So because when they had a sale, they had a sale. So rest well to Giorgio Armani. He definitely was a giant in the world of fashion. You will be missed, but from what I know now, the legacy will live on because these fashion houses live on well beyond the designers. So keep creating, Giorgio Armani, to the House of Armani. Okay, moving on from that, we've got some, hold on. This thing that I use sometimes gives me commercials. So let me go to this one. Let's talk a little bit about the Scrubs revival. We talked about this before. Did you all remember that Scrubs is going to be revived, the show, the NBC show?
I think we talked about it.
Mentioned it.
But you're like whatever. I used to love Scrubs.
So, you know,
Okay.
you need to talk about it because
Okay. I was a Scrubs fan. So they need this revival? I don't know, but they're doing it. And nobody asks for these things, but it happens. So they've added back John C. McGinley, who played the role of Dr. Perry Cox. If you remember, he was the wisecracking one all the time and sarcastic one. So they have added him back, and he'll reprise his role as Dr. Perry Cox. So I wanted to bring that up. So, of course, we've got Donald Faison, who's Zach Braff. They're all coming back. So we've got a lot of the cast coming back to reprise their roles. So, of course, now, because this was like the early 2000s, I believe, or mid 2000s, and they're all, obviously everyone is older, so I'm interested to see what storylines they're going to bring, how it's going to work. Is it still going to be that same dynamic? Because that's what people generally look for when their shows come back, but they've moved on, right? So they have to kind of pick up, as if they can't pick up exactly from where they left off because everybody is noticeably older, so they have to change it somehow. So I'm interested to see how they change it. So that's what's happening there. Let's talk Sesame Street. Hundreds of classic Sesame Street episodes are going to hit YouTube with a new deal they have with Sesame Workshop. So you know that there's a lot of distress because not only has the government cut back on funding to PBS, NPR, Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but the deal that the Sesame Workshop had with the Warner Brothers Discovery, they last year kind of ended that. And so it's like, okay, well, how are we going to continue this? Enter Netflix, which will be playing new episodes of Sesame Street as well as some older episodes, and YouTube. So this is a good thing for not only Sesame Street lovers, but for children, because you'll still be able to get that same level of learning. So this whole deal is really cool. They're picking up, of course, some prime real estate with these Sesame Street episodes, and they inked this expansion partnership with Sesame Workshop, which will make YouTube the largest digital library of Sesame Street content available. including hundreds of classic episodes beginning in January of next year.
Will we
So
only be able to get it on the paid version?
no. This is going to be
Okay.
free. So what's going to happen is Sesame Street will debut new episodes of Netflix, new episodes on Netflix and PBS in November. So they're still on PBS. It's not going away from there. And then Netflix has picked up about 90 hours of library episodes, so back episodes. Warner Brothers, HBO Max will continue to make some library episodes available, so it's not completely gone from HBO Max. And YouTube will top both of them, though, with the new content that is created specifically for YouTube. So you have a lot of ways to watch this now, right? So YouTube says that over the past year, Sesame Street content viewership was up more than 130%, topping 5 billion views on the platform. Not surprised, right? And then even more notably, under this partnership, Sesame Workshop is going to lead seminars for YouTube creators, right? To quote, share best practices on how to create content that is entertaining while also promoting learning. So this is really cool because now if you're a content creator that's interested in making educational content, you're going to learn best practices for this through these workshops they're doing and seminars. That's really cool, actually.
It is.
So yeah, go ahead.
Tell me more about these workshops. Who's putting them on again?
Sesame
YouTube?
Workshop. Sesame Workshop they're leading them through YouTube. So I don't know whether it's probably they're going to do these workshops probably through the YouTube platform. Yes. So, but it's Sesame Workshop that is actually creating the content, and it's together with YouTube.
Great.
Yeah. So I love this because all you had to do was look at social media and see all the things they made. Yeah, right. See all the memes that they made of Big Bird being homeless and things that and I knew it was never just as simple as being snatched, because look, Sesame Street has enough fans, has enough of a base of people who want to see it succeed that would not happen. Look at what happened when they were trying to take away like Bob, Luis, and Gordon. In the news said, no, people, oh, no, you don't. Okay, so there's enough people that will band together to ensure that it continues in the way. But the good thing is now you have several places that you'll be able to watch content, including still some on HBO Max. Still, and then you've got the most with YouTube, and then you've got Netflix still. So this is actually a good thing because, and of course, still PBS. So now, rather than just PBS, you've got several ways to watch these things. And I think that's great because the whole thing is, this also means that you could watch Sesame Street on the go. Even though PBS does have a YouTube channel and things like this, now you're going to be able to watch these things on the go. So if you are looking to entertain a young child for a bit and they love Sesame Street, you're going to be able to pull out your tablet and go to YouTube and have them watch Sesame Street. So they're now going to be able to watch these things on the go, which is critical. Before, because PBS is not always listed on, it's like, for example, I have Sling. My PBS station is not on Sling. So if I go elsewhere, I'm not able to watch PBS until I get back home. So for people that have cases like this is great because now you could just pull it up on YouTube.
Amazing. I like it. Good
Absolutely.
for YouTube.
Good for YouTube. Absolutely. I think Fred has some comments with regard to
this. He says here, there's a Black woman teacher that was on PBS Morning News who went from teaching the classroom to YouTube channel.
Are you talking about Miss? I'm trying to think. She's kind of like Miss Rachel. I don't know.
He says, I told many teachers to do this years ago. Problems in the school, fix them on YouTube, on your platform. Show fixes. Yeah. He says, PBS Kids channels across many platforms, Pluto, Plex, and others.
Yes, yes, yes. They do have PBS Kids, absolutely. But those PBS Kids channels are not necessarily debuting new content. Some of this is like older content that they've got on those channels. So this is a good thing. This is a good thing. Wow. So,
So
and
he
I
says,
agree.
you can also something the PBS station's live internet feed, which is their broadcast station.
That comes up on the app. Yes, if you have the PBS app. Absolutely. Yes, yes. That's
And
true. But this way is just easier, Fred. Pull it up on YouTube.
Okay, which comes up on their app. Okay. I think I got them all. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fred. Okay.
Mhm.
So moving on from that, and good luck to CBS, PBS and everybody involved with this. Give me a second. Here we go. All
Mhm.
right. So let's take a look at, there is a suit. Warner Brothers Discovery, speaking of this, Warner Brothers Discovery, they've sued Midjourney for copyright infringement in a major legal battle. So they're
Who
suing
has?
sorry,
Who's suing Midjourney?
Warner Brothers.
Okay,
Warner
go ahead.
Brothers. Yeah. So this is involving the use of movies and TV shows that are owned by major studios to teach AI systems. So using movies to train their AI models. That's what this is about. So they're accusing in this lawsuit Midjourney, which has millions of registered users, of building their business around mass theft of content. That's a heavy allegation. So they're saying, quote, the company brazenly dispenses Warner Brothers Discovery's intellectual property by letting subscribers produce images and videos of iconic copyrighted characters, alleges the complaint. And they filed this yesterday in a California federal court. So they also, a spokesperson for Warner Brothers Discovery also says, the heart of what we do is to develop stories and characters to entertain our audiences, bringing life to the vision and passion of our creative partners. Midjourney is blatantly and purposefully infringing copyrighted works, and we filed this suit to protect our content, our partners, and our investments. So here's where it comes down to. AI just doesn't create things, right? We think, oh, it's AI created, but it only creates based on something that already exists, right? So it has to have, you train it. So the way we've always seen this done, for those people who may be watching and don't know, AI just doesn't know what an orange is, right? You have to train it on the fact of, here is an orange, here's an elephant eating an orange, say, for example. Well, you
Yes.
keep training it on orange, and it's able to separate this wonderful gray animal from what an orange is, right? So eventually it gets trained on that, and then it can recognize it in different capacities. So it's being trained. So what they're alleging is that they have been using Hollywood or Warner Brothers properties to train it to know these things. So you could say, hey, have I don't know who character is for Warner Brothers. Take something. Let's just say Batman. That's not Warner Brothers, but let's just say put Batman on a Southwest flight, getting something from the flight crew, getting peanuts from the flight crew. Now, it has no concept of what Batman is until you train it on Batman. So they're alleging they've been using our properties to train AI. And that's what this lawsuit is about. And it's true. AI companies have been training their technology on data that they scrape from the internet without compensating creators. This has happened, and this has led to lawsuits from authors, from record labels, news organizations, artists, and studios, which is saying that AI is eroding the demand for their content. I don't know if that's the way to approach this, but this is what they're saying, right? And so, in a statement, this is what Disney said.
So basically, this saying is copyright infringement. Like if I take Mickey Mouse and put him in whatever I'm making, and they didn't get compensated for the image, then that's a problem.
True, although that would not be the case with Mickey Mouse because Mickey Mouse is technically in the public domain now.
Well, the original one.
Yeah, but yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So yes, this is what Disney said, that they're committed to protecting the creators and innovators, and they're pleased to be joined by Warner Brothers Discovery in the fight against Midjourney. So Disney is joining in this fight, as well as is NBC Universal. They say creative artists are the backbone of our industry, and we are committed to protecting their work and intellectual property.
And that's why they pay them so much after they use them up.
Yes, exactly.
Here in these movies, and they don't want to compensate them. But that's another story. Go ahead.
There's a whole other kettle of fish. So here's the thing. I think, at the forefront of these heroes, you know what? I am right. I said Batman. I am right. That is Warner Brothers. I was like, is that Warner Brothers? It is Warner Brothers. Yes. So at the forefront are the heroes, like Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Joker. Also Looney Tunes, which we know is Warner Brothers, Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo characters, etc. So there are a lot involved. So if we look at a Midjourney subscription, which is like between $10 and $120 per month, you can see that money is being made off of this, and they have millions of subscribers already. So they have evidence. They say that Midjourney has trained AI systems. They attach dozens of images to showing the tool's outputs compared to stills from the movies and TV shows. So if you prompt Batman screen cap from The Dark Knight, it returns an image of Christian Bale's portrayal of the character, featuring the costumes Kelvar plate design in the front.
Yeah.
The front, okay, and that differentiates it from other Batman costumes, right? So that's what they're using as their proof. So I don't know, thoughts from you all on this. Yeah, you may have some interesting thoughts.
I think it's true. We're talking about really basic copyright infringement of images, that kind of thing. So I think they have a case. And since they went after the person with the deep pockets, they might win. But the question is then, how is it going to affect training models?
Right.
Machine models. What's the overall impact? Does everybody
going
have to
forward
pay? Or are they going to name all of the persons using their stuff? Because now you can go text to image.
Right.
And see, this is the interesting thing, because when you look at, remember what Napster did, where they went after every single person that was downloading things illegally and went after those individuals. But here's the thing, when you do things like that, it makes it seem like you are going after the little people that are using this and not after the big entity.
Exactly.
So the thing they did differently here is that they did go after the big entity, where they're actually suing Midjourney rather than the individual users of Midjourney.
Right.
At this point, it's kind of like with the internet. What do you do to stop that type of thing at this point? Yeah, going forward.
You put the genie back in the bottle. I don't know.
You can't.
You can't. You can't going forward. But at this point, there's so much publicly available stuff. What else is there that you could see? Well, okay, you can't do this. Well, everything else is going to be an offshoot of what already exists. You think it's going to take that much for AI to put 2 and 2 together,
right,
to come up with it? Not really, So I do understand the copyright infringement thing, but the thing is also, and I get it. As we're all creators, we should all be concerned about that. But the thing is, we're never concerned about it until it's too late.
Yeah, or it's us. Like, that's when you're concerned.
Exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
I see it as it's going to be down. Like Terralina said about you can't put the genie back in the bottle. It's out. It's going to come down to, well, how much does Midjourney pay the creator or the person, or how much does the tool pay? Because it's the tool, it's not the individual person. It's the tool. Even though the individual put the prompt in for whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but Midjourney gave it to me like that.
Okay.
So it's like the Napster thing. You coming after me. I need the tool to download it. I need Napster to download it. I'm not going in the air and pulling it from wherever it's residing. So
Exactly.
it's down to how much, who pays what.
Well,
And
here's Fred. He says, man, I was a Napster ambassador. I downloaded all Adobe programs to study and learn the program when those programs altogether were $3,000 or more. So he paid for that. And he says, then he used them to make money for years until I got legit. Okay.
Thanks for telling us that. The words
And
expressed by
the
one Fred.
self-interest here are not
those are
Exactly. The
These are
views
the
expressed by Fred.
responsible for admissions against self-interest. Okay, go ahead.
legal disclaimer.
Exactly. But he brings up an interesting point because
Yeah.
these tools are used, and the costs of these tools are used as ways that gatekeep information. So it's not available to all, and these fields are truly not available to all because the cost of entry, the barrier to entry is much lower than it used to be. But back when all these things cost you thousands and thousands to really master and buy it was just not possible for some people. So I like that the playing field is, while it's not level, it has become easier to access. But he brings up an issue thing, and Fred has another thing.
He says the copyright issue is why I urge people not to run to these AI services.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You have to be very careful when you're creating things using AI. This is why if you're feeding, you need to truly feed it your stuff and make sure that it's set so that it can't use your stuff to train its models. That's another thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think these people know that, but just make sure you're, yeah.
Yeah, the copyright issue has been a big thing even before AI became big. I remember following, I think, a lawyer that was talking about all of this, and it's like people do not care. Like going to Google and searching for images, and they just use whatever they see instead of going, oh, is that a copyrighted image? No, I don't really care. I'm just gonna save it or screenshot it or whatever. So that's where that was before AI. Now we're in this spot where it's being used to train, and it's like everything's getting more convoluted. Like, okay, where does it end? Where does it begin?
And can you imagine going through every encyclopedia to see if they use somebody else's picture? You know what I'm saying? Somebody else's.
So
it's easier with text, but once you get into pictures, and it gets very.
It's gonna be easier to figure out how much to pay than trying to disassociate or break it up and find the root of, well, this image was used to this and that and that and that. Okay, Midjourney goes, okay, we'll just pay the fee, the fine, the whatever the court says, and we'll keep it moving.
Because that's what
happens.
Right. And that's usually what happens when people get involved.
That's how it goes. Yeah, because I remember AI came out and everybody signed this letter saying stop AI. What happened to that? They wanted to.
Well, everybody went back to work after this. I mean,
yeah.
So
he says some software platforms are still in the money because there are levels people don't know about. And he's got this comment. He says, I have connection that is going to courts now because they trademarked an image generated from AI. Okay. Right. So yeah, you need to.
Yeah, see, this is gonna play out through the courts legal wise, and at the end of it, it's gonna be who pays what.
Yeah.
Because and so that may. Pixar star Francine makes an excellent point that when you do things, and it's like, okay, create this in the style of the Boondocks, create
Yes.
this image in the style of, right. That's a particular style of animation that's being used. And it's one thing if you're using it for yourself, but another thing if you're now creating a whole company based off of these types of things. There's
Yes.
you have to be very careful because AI is fantastic and it's brilliant. It can be helped to used to create some other things, definitely. But you can actually, these companies can go and argue, listen, this is like they showed, this is the Batman suit that Kristen Bale wore, and this was the only one compared to all the other type. They took it from here. Yeah, they trained it there. And this was obviously probably before the opt-out things,
Yeah, the opt-out part. And then also because talking about the prompts, you can say create this in the impressionist style, but if you can create this in the Monet or Manet or Van Gogh style, you can't do that because now you're talking about the people instead of the movement. You can say the impression. Give me an impressionist painting of da 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 da. That is okay. But if you say make this like Pixar, make this like this particular artist, and people do that, they type the artist name in. You're not supposed to because that's copyright. All that stuff's copyright.
And I've seen where you could actually just copy the link and put it in there and say use this styling. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they don't have to go through any changes. The coding is all there. Well, here's some more comments. Let's see. Here locally, a small group, Fred says, generated a logo for an activist group, and it modeled the logo using components similar to Goodyear, and Goodyear pushed back.
Right. Got a team to do that. They're going to do that.
He says,
and it's one thing,
like all those AI models looking like Muppets, Sesame Street style characters.
Absolutely. Now, see, it's one thing if you're doing it again for yourself, if you're doing it because of commentary to comment on this and you're not looking to make any money. The whole thing, look, copyright, yes, is protecting ideas, but really copyright is protecting money. If we're real about it, that's what it's about. They're protecting the right to make money down the road from this. So yeah, we will see what happens with this lawsuit, because this has the idea or has the propensity to set precedent for lots of other AI cases.
Yeah.
So let's watch it. Let's keep watching it. I think I have is it one more that I wanted to put? Yes, just one more, because I thought this was actually kind of cool. And I think this is a model. So we're looking at sports and media here, right? Kind of, or someone who is a sports figure in media. So 21-year-old UNC athlete Seth Trimble. So this goes to, if you are a basketball fan, I'm not really, but he plays basketball in North Carolina, right? For University of North Carolina. And he has used his NIL, so name, image, likeness. So, now student athletes, before they were not allowed to make money off of it, but these schools were making bank off of them. And meanwhile, they had no money during the week. So now NCAA has allowed student athletes to enter into deals that use their name, image, and likeness. Now, don't be foolish with the money. Do something like what he did. He is to become the youngest Ben & Jerry's franchise owner. So he took the money from his deals with name, image, likeness, and he's putting it in other things.
Yes.
Building a business. And he's only 21 years old, which is fantastic. He's building a business and building a legacy. So he said he's always been interested in expanding beyond basketball, which goes back to his high school days. And he shared this in an interview with Inside Carolina. And I got this out of Afrotech. So because of these deals, which is great, it's now easier for athletes to get revenue and turn that revenue into long-term wealth building opportunities instead of just being athletes for the machine, because that's what it amounted to. You made all this money for these schools, and you yourself, number one, may not even be drafted, right? And number two, you're still struggling during the week. You hear things about, athletes where they have to go, they can't work because their schedule is so rigorous, so they're not able to make extra money. Many of these athletes don't come from means where their parents can, I'll just put money in your account. It's like you have what you make, right? And so this was honestly, this creates this cycle of poverty, because how many athletes actually get recruited from college? For everybody that plays for college, how many actually get recruited to the pros? And if you get recruited to the pros, lots of athletes are not making 7 figures. You might be making 6, and it depends on the sport, right?
Correct.
So,
and you're never home. Go ahead.
Exactly. So thanks to those deals, lots of student athletes have been able to turn these things into wealth building opportunities. So Trimble has always had a desire for ownership, and he's got 2 things now and he has a deal with Powerade and a deal with Town and Country Farms. And so he's taking that money and putting it into ownership. So this is, yes. And I thought that is awesome. So
and
Primo
Fred says good for that player. And then he says, and only a small number. Well, we know this, a small number of athletes are really getting that NIL deal, and many need to know the full story. Hopefully their mentors will jump in and give them guidance, because go ahead.
And no, but that's the key thing, because he has a mentor. And Fred, you're absolutely correct. So even smaller than people that make it to the pros are even smaller numbers that play college athletics that have these NIL deals. So this is a very exclusive club from the beginning. But if you're fortunate enough to get into that club, don't squander the money. Do something like this. Build wealth. So the mentorship is key. He has a mentor from Primo Partners, the CEO, Antonio McBroom, helped Trimble with this and mentored him. So they met during a Final Four when Trimble was in his senior year of high school, and they started talking regularly during his first year of college. And then by his sophomore year, the conversation started to turn toward opportunities. Yes. So McBroom himself owns 24 locations of Ben & Jerry's franchises, because he was an alum of the University of North Carolina, and in college he used to scoop ice cream, and then he became a Ben & Jerry's franchisee in 2008. So I guess he sees the great opportunity, because Ben & Jerry's is a great company, and so he's probably pushed him in that direction. And so his mentor McBroom said this: I just see him as somebody very close to me who always instills the right things and the right beliefs into me. Trimble said this of McBroom. So I love to see this. This is more of what we need to see. More student athlete, more people in general, right? Particularly melanated people investing in things. So if you have a windfall of some sort, like you get these deals, same thing I'm saying to these content creators, don't just take the money from these brand deals and brand partnerships and just put it in the bank and let it sit. You ought to be investing in wealth building activities. Yes, it could be starting your own brand, but it could be also purchasing a franchise of something, which I think is not a better way, but a more sure or secure way, I should say, of building wealth, because you have a proven concept. They've done the testing. Why are you testing it? Go ahead and do this. That's not to say don't come up with your own makeup line, perfume line, etc. But there's a lot of work involved there. And you could get something that's a proven concept and then use that money to go ahead and start something of your own. So I love this story, and I just wanted to share that. And that is my news for the week.
Okay, well, before we get out of here, I want to share the last comments from
Fred.
From Fred. Here we go. Fred says, I know a player who got $700K for 2 years and did not pay taxes, and Uncle Sam had him in a headlock. Okay. And then he says, their NIL agencies working with some larger schools, helping get NIL deals, but only larger schools. Okay. And there's a great opportunity for marketers, digital marketers, to work with the HBCUs and smaller schools. Absolutely. I'm
I
telling you,
agree.
just the bands, the
Yeah.
different things, those drum majors. Okay. The dance teams. I mean, there's a lot going on there that could be revenue bearing
The band they really, I don't understand why, because I think that the head space is so in terms of the athletes, but what they don't realize about HBCUs is we don't give a damn about the game. We care about the band. We came to see the band, and we leave after halftime.
It's the band,
And we
tailgating, and band.
the band and the tailgating.
And the party. We look, we at the party.
Yep.
And we constitute a huge amount of buyers in the US. So the fact that you're not looking at what we value shows you that you are off the mark. So 100% with that. And I would love to see, especially some of these dance teams. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
They're doing it. And I'm just saying, this is an opportunity and someone needs to help them with that.
Absolutely. That's what I have for you.
All right.
So we get one last comment. What's he say?
That's it.
Am I wrong, Dr. Tati? Most HBCUs do not have creative marketing education.
I can't speak for HBCUs now. I would like to think that some of them, their communication departments and their business schools of business have started to do that. But again, one thing with HBCUs, we also think very traditionally, and it takes a long time before they start to get on board with some things, although some are like looking, okay, the one here, one of the ones in Miami, we only have one, Florida Memorial, they have an esports program. So that's very interesting because they're like, I think they were the first HBCU. I don't know if any other HBCUs have an esports program, but they were definitely the first to do it. So it's interesting to see, and we have in small pockets people who recognize that, but it's a whole system of bureaucracy to get these things through. And I think that's part of the thing. So I don't know for sure the HBCUs that do not and do have those, but I would love to see that.
But it isn't, like Fred said, it's an opportunity. Obviously, there's a gap. And so with that, we want to remind everybody that, hey, oh my goodness, there's so much here. Let me get to this. Let's see if I can get this to come up. Yeah, that we're actually having a workshop this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up a page. Someone put this in a browser and see. I can get to go to that page right here and show you guys the actual visual here. Let me share this screen. I should have been more prepared, but I wasn't. Sorry, guys. Okay, can you guys see that? That the Biz Chicks Basic Boot Camp is happening this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about mastering AI tools like ChatGPT and how to save time in your business. So we want you to know that there's no experience needed. It's a 4 hours hands-on training, and we'll break everything down for you step by step so that you can use these tools for your business. So the price is $197. And this is what you're going to learn. You're going to learn the basics. You're going to practice and actually apply it to things that are involved in your business. You're going to discover several ways to save time every week. And you're going to get simple, easy to use strategies. So we're going to put that link in the chat. And this link will take you to the actual stand store where you can sign up. So we are looking forward to that. And we hope you'll join us this Saturday. So, oh my goodness. Hold on a second.
That's going to be wonderful.
Mhm.
We're pretty excited about it. It's something new that we're doing. And it's that part. So let me go over here to the chat and put it in here and see if it'll go up. Yeah. Meanwhile, we want you to know that we are so happy that you decided to join us today for Tech Life Weekly. Dr. Tachi, oh my gosh, and TJ, we just are just grateful and delighted how you come and bring all this stuff to the table. I had no idea that Armani had passed. I had no idea what was going on over there with Pinterest. I haven't been over in Pinterest in so long, and the fact that it makes sense. It's a good match for young people to start stores, to start, it reminds me of you. Yeah, that's way past y'all's time because I'm not even go down that road. Anyway, I do want to say thank you for all you do. And we want to remind people, if you're looking to become a part of the Biz Chicks community, you can join Biz Chicks by texting Biz to 33777, or you can join us over at bizchicks.net. We'd love to share with our community what it is you do and how you serve. Thank you again. And we got one last comment from Fred. He says, have a good weekend, everyone. You do the same, Fred. Thank you for your time and for all you contribute during the conversation. We appreciate you. Thank you, guys. And remember, it's okay to make money in your business. Oh, my goodness. So, guys, come on. Go to the front of your own line. Have a great weekend. Thank you again, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.
Did it end? Okay.
Looks like it's ending. It's still ticking.
Yeah.
Let's play